What's going on, team? It's Ricky with Learn Plan Profit. Hope you guys are all having a great start to your morning. I'm going to start sharing my screen so you guys get to see exactly what it is that I'm looking at. But I've been following and trading you guys during pre-market hours, /NG mainly. And as of right now, I'm going to give it a little bit more time to confirm this, but we just got rejected by the SMA line. So it was showing signs kind of this horizontal support and resistance. It's pretty much all I was trading as soon as I've had, so I locked in profits shortly after the market opened, right? So I identified this kind of like resistance and the support that went as early as like 4 in the morning. For TD Ameritrade, the market, it's not that the market opens at 7:30, but TD Ameritrade does not allow me to enter and exit positions until 5 o'clock. So it was shortly after 5 o'clock that I was able to lock in profits. It began to sell off, and I bought the dip, sold the peaks, sold off, bought the dip, sold the peaks, sold off. I bought the dips, but now it's like getting rejected by the SMA line. So I've been taking a little bit like kind of like larger positions, not really, about like $25,000, right? So it's still a decent sized position size. And I'm going to show you guys exactly what I mean by that. So here we go. And I'm just going to watch very closely because if we get rejected multiple times again by like this like $60 resistance, it might be a sign that it might have reached its peak already and we might start seeing signs of a downward pattern. I think natural gas does a better job for you to be able to see this, as you could like see a lot more like volatility and volume. You can see that consolidation right around that SMA line. And again, the natural gas report is today, 1 hour after the market opened. So just in about, 58 minutes or something like that. So I actually cannot see any of your guys' messages. Let's see. Whoa. There we are. All right. All right. Here we go. Nice little pop above the SMA line, meaning that you guys should be breaking above that $60 price point. One of my alerts should be going off. Let's see. So here we go. All right. Nice, nice. All right. First day on TechBot Solutions team. What's going on, Gustavo? Happy to have you as part of the team. So, Ricky, can you tell me how long until the natural gas report so I could see how far off the lag? I don't really get that message, but okay. Are you in UGAS? Yeah, I'm in ticker symbol UGAS. As you can see, my overall sell position right here. So I see. Definitely, yeah. So G, it's time to like rebuild that confidence. Let's just make sure that we dedicate a little bit more time to rebuild that, right? So there we go. EMA line is still pointing up. That's the good thing. So you guys not gonna hold its big divergence for it. Okay. We'll see. What are you selling at, Ricky? If I'm not mistaken, I'm selling at 61.18. My average purchase price is 59.76, something like that. Hey, what's going on, Andrew? Welcome to the team. So I am ready to /NG and yeah. So here we go. Are you going to buy after the natural gas report? Possibly. I'm going to give it time. I just want to see how much margin, because natural gas is extremely overbought right now, because of how much it pushed up. So even if the natural gas report does push it up and then degas goes down, I don't know how I feel about invest. We'll follow up after the natural gas report, but we talked about it briefly yesterday, where I don't know how confident I feel to buy the dip on something that's a descending pattern, especially when, yeah, I just don't know if it's going to continue to descend, or if it will actually recover. So that's my only like speculation for today. So here we go. Cam related 101. Super happy to hear that. I don't want to like, we haven't announced it officially or anything like that just yet, but what I'm going to be working on for the entire month of February is refilming the Learn Plan Profit course. So it's pretty much, I'm not going to say like it's going to be completely different or anything of that sort, but I think, I mean, it's going to offer a lot of the same material, but just small little like parts and suggestions that I feel like I can add. I just want to structure it in a little bit more of an effective way. So some of you guys might be getting emails from our like support at techbutsolutions.com or info at techbutsolutions.com. Again, those are the only emails, or like info at learnplanprofit.com. We don't use any like Gmail or anything like that when we reach out to you, but it's just going to ask you like questions as in like, what would you like to see more of, any tips or suggestions and stuff like that. So and yeah, it's all going to be included for you guys, of course. Good morning, good morning. Will the old videos still be there or will be replaced? I believe they're all going to be replaced. Of course, yeah. I like that, Peyton. All right, all right. Appreciate that, Chancho. All right, so one thing that I do want to point out is the RSI and then the MACD. Definitely not in our favor right now. So it did push up a lot, and selling off now. So we'll see where it's at. Let's see. Kobe Wright, super happy to hear that. Appreciate that, Ben. Thank you, thank you. Junior Stone, what's going on, dude? Okay, can you do more videos about swing trading? Yeah, there will be videos both about day trading and swing trading. Missed the part with the videos. Can you please explain? So pretty much, one of the ideas that me and the TechBuds team had is for Learn Plan Profit, the course itself, to dedicate all of February for me to be working on new videos. So we'll pretty much just be like restructuring the course and probably removing all the old videos and just adding new structure and new videos, but still with the same information, just higher quality, like filming and editing. And then on top of that, we'll structure in a different way and then add a couple more videos to be a little bit more effective. But yeah. What do you consider teaching more indicators? So I'm pretty much gonna like structure the course based on like how I trade. So if there's certain indicators that I don't necessarily use, I'm probably not going to cover them. Um, or certain best practices, like I'm not going to cover like, I'm not going to go into like in depth of short selling, as that's not something that I do. So it'll be a little bit more in depth to my like trading like best practices. So we'll keep it at that. But thank you again. And again, you guys should be receiving an email through only info@techbudsolutions, info@techbudsolutions.com, or it's going to be like support@techbudsolutions.com. Again, if there's a Gmail or something like that that's reaching out to you that's saying that it's me, and asking for personal information, I never ask for personal information. I never trade for other people. That should be a huge red flag. Anytime that you question if it's a message from me in any email or Instagram page or Facebook page, there's a bunch of fake ones out there. Please just direct message me on Discord and send me a screenshot. Is this you? That simple. I'll be like, no, please report it. Majority of the time, it's not me. I never send out like messages to people unless it's something that has to do with like an update or something like that. Tim Lambert, super happy to hear that. But I really do appreciate you saying that the course has made you $2,800 in 2 days. Course has not made you like anything. It's your like hard work and knowledge, right? So I really do appreciate like you trying to give me in a sense credit for it. But it's those that take action and that properly like express and structure what they learn into their trading like best practices that can do very well. There's people that do it. There's some people that don't. So I think it's super amazing that you've been able to achieve that. Now let's just keep it consistent and make sure that we focus on that. So when you are trading, do your plans normally change depending on moving of the market? I wouldn't say if I notice or identify something that I didn't originally identify, then maybe. But most often I stick to my plan and there's a reason that I took my position. So during February, based off of like the 3 to 5 year analysis, you're more than welcome to check it out. January moving into February, we start to see more of a descending pattern. So we'll see kind of how it plays out. Sergio, what's up? What's up? Did I already get into a position? Did I? How many of you guys, let me ask you guys this. How many of you guys were live with me? I was not like video live, but just live with me in the TechBud Solutions chat or the Learn Plan Profit chat when I talked about my swing trade position. Were any of you guys in there in the main chat rooms for both TechBuds and Learn Plan Profit? Do you guys remember? Yeah. So I didn't want to announce it, and for those that were active, great. I didn't want to post it and be like at everyone, hey, I'm swing trading this, because you guys know what would happen then. Everybody would just try to jump into something without them really knowing the risk. And it could have gone really wrong. It could have gone really well, right? But for those that were active within the chat during that period, I was kind of just talking to you guys, letting you guys know kind of like how I was feeling and what it was that I was doing. You guys know that I was doing like my 10,000 calorie challenge yesterday, and I could not like focus on day trading at all. I was like sweating with like what I was doing. So I, at the end of the day, like after I took a little break, I ended up taking a swing trade position of 200 shares. And the really cool thing about that was that it ended up playing out in my favor, and I'll explain to you guys in just a bit why. But it's where I made a majority of my profits today. And I'll go ahead and I'll show you this. So on ticker symbol UGAS, as of right now, I'm down on my open position, so I should be down about like $200. So I'm down 150, but altogether, I'm up about $2,713. I have 400 shares as of right now. But one thing that I am noticing is that we are getting rejected now between that like middle VWAP and stuff like that. So it might be something that I might have to change in just a little bit. So I'll set my alerts as we approach that middle VWAP once again. Actually, I'll just actually explain why I took that specific position right now. So one of the things that I identified, and I did this with like Nick. So you guys might know Nick. I made a video yesterday with him, and he's actually selling his position today for BAC, which is Bank of America. And the really cool thing about that was that we identified this resistance, right around 370. And we identified last time, when was this? So this was Monday. It received a really nice push up, and then on Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, it ended up selling off, kind of like pulling back and correcting itself. The day that followed, which was Wednesday, which was yesterday, it pushed up, and then it began to sell off all within the same day. One thing that I've noticed is that as it pushes up and as it descends, it has this pattern regardless of the time. Some of us might only weren't able to capture like the ascending part because it did this like kind of transition kind of like over the weekend, so the market wasn't necessarily open, but natural gas was doing pretty well. So I'm not trying to take the reason that I'm not trying to think about UGAS is because UGAS is restricted due to time and when the market is open. There's this pattern that's for natural gas that as soon as like Sunday came around, right around like 3 to 4, we ended up pushing up, and it ended up showing signs of an uptrend. Regardless if we're able to take advantage of the opportunity or not, that pattern is there. It approached the resistance at 370. It approached the support right around 340. It touched that support around this general area of like 340 to 345, whatever it is that you want to call it, and then ended up consolidating, bounced, and then pushed up back to 370, which is a resistance that I identified yesterday that I pointed out with Nick. And the cool thing about that was that as soon as it got rejected, it began to really consolidate right around 340. And Nick and I kept going back and forth if we should take a full-on swing trade position, which is, for me, 400 shares, or if I should just get some skin in the game and take a 200 share position size and kind of like go with that. I ended up choosing to take a 200 share position size for a swing trade. For those that were active within the chat, I was kind of just talking to you guys and ended up talking about like my swing trade and stuff like that, and gave a little bit of a reason why. But now as we're pushing up, we're approaching this like resistance right around like 360. And one thing that he identified was that, it's not necessarily making like lower highs, but there's like a series of different factors as in like for news, and there's like this up and coming like winter storm coming up, different factors that I felt like comfortable swing trading it, not just on the technical standpoint, but on the fundamental standpoint as well. As of right now, we're doing a lot of consolidation right around kind of like 3.50, still resistance right around 3.60. So I just wanted to give it a little bit more time. If we look at the 5-day, 5-minute chart, we could still see that it's reacting really nicely to the middle VWAP. We're not completely selling off. We're not completely pushing up. It's kind of just this like really consistent horizontal pattern, right? So nothing crazy, nothing too fancy. So we can put that there, and we can put that there, right? So kind of this like low point and high point. And going into the 1-day, 1-minute chart, this is pretty much, like I told you guys, all I was trading during pre-market hours, right? I identified this overall kind of like support and resistance, and then locked in profits right away, started to buy the dips, sell the peaks, buy the dips, sell the peaks, and then buy the dips and sell closer near to what I thought to be a peak. Obviously, me selling at like 3.56 when natural gas is there, and although it pushes up to like, 3.59, yes, I'm missing out on some margin, but yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean that I have to hold and hope that it continues to go up. So I've been focusing on like pretty consistent, decent margins, but it's also my position size that I've been kind of like approaching a little bit more aggressively. I would normally just take 200 share position sizes and try to scalp this, but I've been going in with 400 shares and then selling the 400 shares and then selling the 400 shares and then selling the 400. So that's kind of like where I'm at as of right now. As the market, and this is like the most difficult part I think for people to like comprehend. It's like, why did I look at natural gas and why did I not look at UGAS again? And I hope it makes sense, but like UGAS is restricted to like normal trading hours, including extended hours, but natural gas allows me to see its true pattern without any restriction to normal market hours. So I might not be able to see a resistance that would have formed on UGAS if the market was open, but it's not, so it never actually showed that resistance. But because I have access to like natural gas, then I'm able to identify that resistance. That's kind of like the idea behind it. We're getting a lot of consolidation on natural gas. I think someone had a question about what's it called? The natural gas report. Sheila, super helpful for explaining that. Thank you. Of course, super happy to hear that. Yeah, that was helpful. Chancho, super happy to hear that. I would like a LPP video on how to handle taxes. I cannot make a video on taxes. That's been one of like the most requested videos, like since I first started my channel. I'm not a tax specialist. I literally can't be making videos about taxes. We're all in different tax brackets, so how much I pay on taxes is completely different than the next person, right? Might be paying taxes. Easiest way to put it is if you actually want to learn how much you'll have to pay in taxes and how much you'll have to pay this upcoming year, you can speak to a CPA or someone through like H&R Block or a traditional kind of like tax institution. It's free to call them and you can just ask them general questions. You can go in and come up with all your numbers of what you project to make through this and stuff like that. And but literally you just have to call, and it's just not gonna, the information is just not coming from me, but it's coming from someone else that is credible within that niche. Collaborate with a YouTube tax person, or you can just call. I had a weird dream last night, Ricky. I saw you at the airport and you were actually buying soda from Chipotle. I was so shocked. What's going on, Kyle? Do we have to pay taxes on this? On the money that you make within the market? Yes, it's considered capital gains. If you're within the United States at least, right? I see Teddy Miller. My dude, that is for flipping wheels. We're actually working on restructuring flipping wheels completely in the next 3 to 5 days. So that's what Caleb and Weston are going to be working on nonstop for the next 3 to 5 days, and just pumping out that content. So, and then re-uploading it. So, yeah. That's it. Yep, Uncle Sam always wants his cat. It's all good, I guess. Oh shoot, that's crazy. Thank you for letting me know, Sandra. I'll be sure to look more into it. What cool country have you traded from? Um, I was in Europe for a little bit, right? I've been in Hawaii. Well, that's still United States, but it's kind of different, right? I don't know. Yeah, but I've been in different parts of Europe. It was just like a couple months ago that me and the guys went to go visit Europe, and um, I was like working with you guys when I had internet or Wi-Fi. Great place for traders, and it's U.S. territory. I don't like waking up at 4:30 in the morning. That was the horrible part being in Hawaii. I hear you, Rob. One of the things that we're going to try to provide with flipping wheels is regardless if you want to like actually like make money on cars, or if you truly just want to make sure like the next time that you are in the market to buy a car, that my idea was to offer two options. So like if you're in the market to actually find a car, that you can work with someone within our team. You can identify kind of like what your budget is and what you're trying to pay, and then we find you the best deal possible. And then if we find you the best deal possible and the deal ends up being successful and you see that we are of value, then that like you like in a sense tip the guys like within our team and stuff like that, if you don't actually want to like learn how to do it and you're just trying to do it for like a one-time thing. But our whole focus is to make sure that within your first like purchase that you make your money back. So it's a little bit of a different edge. We have to be a lot more proactive with every member. But because the group isn't like ginormous, I think we have that like luxury of being able to like work much closer with our groups. Ricky, why did you leave so early yesterday? That's what I did see a comment that said that I left so early yesterday. It was 30 minutes. I don't know. Oh, this is why you probably think that I left early. The stream was actually 30 minutes. I went live. It's Wednesday, so I went live pre-market hours. It was 15 minutes pre-market, 15 minutes after market open, and then I closed out the stream. Yikes. Yep, we're really getting rejected by that resistance. Let's see. Of course. JG. Live every day. It's what we do, right? It's fun. It like adds a lot of structure to my life, and although it's like I don't get to sleep in, I like at least do like and enjoy what it is that I mean, I really enjoy what I do every single day. So, but yeah, sometimes it's like, oh shoot, I have to wake up at, 6:30 to go live, and I fell asleep at like 3 or 4. Is TD Ameritrade in Australia? I don't believe so. I think it's based originally and created from Canada, but it's available all within Northern America. Ricky, your face is swollen. Yeah, I didn't sleep very much last night. I think I fell asleep at like 2. And then I woke up at 6. So, but it's all good. I'll definitely get a nap in today. I'll have to. I woke up, wait. I really like got up at 6. Yeah. I don't consider like me trading off my phone in my bed. Um, like me getting up. I'm still laying down. I'm still resting. Um, I'm still watching it. I'm still trading it as of right now. Um, yeah. So I'm still watching it, just waiting to see kind of like what happens. Yeah, well, Sam Perez, the whole point that I see that I don't necessarily see the natural gas report being different. I just see it as like, okay, understanding the position that natural gas is at right now. So last week, natural gas, it played in natural gas's favor, right? Because there's going to be supposedly, its overall forecast was in favor of natural gas. Makes sense, right? Um, but also at that point, natural gas was extremely oversold. So it was a really good deal and it was in its favor. So it pushed up a pretty nice amount. Makes sense. Now, natural gas is overbought now because of how much it pushed up within the past week. That even if it does play out in its favor, how much more can it go up when something is already so much of like so overbought? And we see this happen a lot when a company is extremely overpriced and it does end up exceeding its earnings, but not enough to what was expected because of how overpriced it was, that it actually ends up pulling back. And again, this takes time to like understand, and you'll experience this. But then you begin to ask yourself, how come sometimes when a company is like super oversold and not doing well and does not hit its earnings, but its earnings still pushes its price up because its overall maybe direction or guidance was better than expected, which then drives the price up. So I don't like just to take into consideration its current like what catalyst is going to be like thrown on it, so like the natural gas report, but I like to make sure that I understand its current position based off of previous price points and asking, is this a good deal? Is this a positive catalyst or negative catalyst? And based on the position in correlation to previous patterns and price points, is this going to be driven up or down? And how much of an effect is it going to have based on its current like position? Again, I know it's like, and maybe I'm not the best at explaining this. Maybe I have to come up with a more elaborate way in explaining this, but I hope it makes sense to some of you, and then I could follow up maybe with a video or something. No, I'll still be live. During like if I would have cut off the live stream if I wasn't going to trade the natural gas report. So I'll still like be here, and I'll stay here with you guys unless you guys want me to go. But um, Wade, if I'm not mistaken, there is a video about level 2 within Learn Plan Profit. I'm not too sure what it is that you are suggesting or what want to learn a little bit more about, but yeah. Yeah, then let me know what you want to know about level 2 and I'll explain it. But I feel like level 2 is pretty basic and simple to understand. I mean, it's the ask and the bid. So if you truly understand what that means, the ask and the bid and the what the market price is. Market price is most likely like a nice little like balance between the ask and the bid. So when you buy and sell at market price, you'll get filled usually like in between. Um, Same thing with buying and selling, right? So like let's say I just don't know like what. Hey, what's going on, Luis? What's up? What's up? Maybe when it comes down to like being able to identify a resistance or a support, you can see that there could be like a wall of buyers or a wall of sellers. That just means that you can check out level 2 and you can see what's it called, how many buyers there are, how many sellers there are, and based off of, like, let's say there's a resistance, and every time that it approaches that resistance, a flood of buyers just end up showing up at like $99.99. Then, you know, you can see that multiple times, that there's just like this like strong demand of sellers at that price point. So because you're able to see that, maybe you could sell at a little bit of a lower price point and stuff like that. Same things then vice versa to overall support. If there's a wall of buyers and it doesn't break that support, then maybe you just have to understand that and then buy a little bit of at a higher price point. Is it true that market price buys? Uh, Yikes. Sell out the bid? No, I wouldn't say that that's market price buys. That wouldn't make sense. I mean, it's designed for it to actually get filled at the ask. I guess it depends on what brokerage it is that you're using. I know Fidelity has one of the best. I don't know what they call it, but one of the best and most like efficient ways in getting filled in the like in your favor, in like the individual's favor. So usually, sometimes what brokerages will do is, if there's a spread that's wide enough, based on what they buy it for and what they will sell it to you for, they sometimes take a small little like margin. There's a specific word for it, but yeah. But for Fidelity, they tend to pay it more for the individual's favor. Correct. I don't actually watch or read the natural gas report. I just wait for the reaction, and then I trade about like amongst that. So yeah, we're gonna wait for the natural gas report for this live. So there's 22 minutes left, or I can just come back. It's up to you. Heck no. Um, would you trade the natural gas report with skin in the game as in 100 to 2,200 shares? That's a big difference. Did you sell you guys already? No, I have not. Power nap. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna need today. Give me one quick second, team. I'm going to grab a Pop-Tart and then a cup of water, if that's cool with you guys. It's not a lot of movement right now. So since the market has opened right around 7:30, this has pretty much been it, right? All the activity really happened during pre-market hours as of right now. All right, 1 second. I'm live right now if you want to walk in here. Yeah, with the stool. Wonder what flavor it's going to be. You got a stool? Boom. Got it. What's up? What's up? So we got Nick in the house.
Just woke up.
I know, right? There we go. So right now, we are waiting for natural gas to push up. It's kind of just been offering this horizontal pattern pretty much all during pre-market hours. So from overall lows to highs, remember I told you I took the 200 share position size. Ended up selling at the very peak. So this was 5 o'clock. Saw the resistance here. Locked in profits, began to sell off, bought the dip, sold the highs, bought the dip. And now market opened shortly after that. And now it's been getting rejected, not even at that resistance anymore, but a little bit lower than that. So it's consolidating. We have about 19 minutes until the market opens. So we're consolidating around the same kind of general support, right around that middle VWAP. But now I'm waiting for this thing to push up because I'm in it right now. So I've been trading with 400 shares.
Okay.
And then I've just been asking, I've just been answering questions and stuff like that. Did you sell your position yet for BAC?
Yeah, it sold this actually, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I set the stop. It hit the stop at, let me actually check exactly when it hit. Your trade executed at 28.30. I'm actually interested what it is right now.
Selling off.
Let's see it. Oh, is that it?
Yep.
Where's 28.30 at?
Over here.
Oh, that's not bad. Yeah.
Huh.
Good thing I said it because I would have
Continue
I
to
would have
sell
woke
off.
up, yeah, like right around there. Probably wouldn't even have. Yeah, that's good. Not at the very peak, but it's a good 7. I think it was like 10% total on that trade.
Holy moly. It's solid.
How's CMG? Did it hold up?
Let's check it. Where did I make that watch list? It's still holding. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna sell off like right now. But one of the things that Nick and I were talking about were the idea of how. Okay, let me ask you the question first. So understanding the low points, right here, right around 420, and the high points right around like above 500 to 520, right? What indicator or what indication, not indicator. So we could see with the RSI, we could see with the MACD, we could see with the EMA line that like, hey, this might be a little bit more on the overbought side, maybe not so much of a good deal. What reason behind a pattern can you identify when something is close to or near to maybe starting to show signs of a reversal?
No, there's EVA.
So we're not talking about indicators. We're not talking about EMA lines or anything like that. So what pattern? So no indicators. What patterns? No, not zones either. That's the easiest way to put it. Consolidation. When something is progressively pushing up and showing signs of an uptrend, it progressively makes higher highs and higher lows. But when something begins to like show signs of a peak formation, the pattern within itself, you'll see that there'll be a number of days where it no longer is uptrending anymore. It begins to almost flatline and kind of balance itself out. It doesn't go up very much. It doesn't go down very much, but it just begins to consolidate. It doesn't mean that it's 100% going to sell off, but it means that this overall pattern and direction that it had, that it was showing signs of an uptrend. So natural gas is actually selling off. So I'm gonna have to cut losses on UGAS. But yeah, the overall understanding that like, you know, looking at the past previous days let's look at the 5-day analysis. We could see that the past like 3 days, it's kind of just been consolidating and not really been making higher highs, even over here, right? So it did make higher highs as in like from here to here, but the progression is not as great. And I think that's one of the things that you guys could just like follow up with is that while it was really uptrending, and then it reaches a certain point where it begins to kind of just like consolidate, and the progression at the rate that it was growing begins to slow down. And I think that's just something that like is very important to like identify. Wow, it's actually selling off quite a bit. Hey Ricky, do you mind if managing my portfolio? It seems like that's what people are here for. That is exactly not why people are here for. Again, that's why I don't tell people where to buy or where to sell. So please do not ask me that question again, as I do not trade for others. But yeah, thank you.
I think Netflix consolidated. That's another one, right?
Yeah.
That we were looking at last night. Kind of peaked out and then consolidated a little bit.
It has its earnings report today.
Yeah, 5 o'clock, so that'll be...
So it had a really nice push up and then begins to kind of like consolidate for a couple of days, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good push the other day.
Yep. And then it begins to consolidate, right? And then broke below that semi line. But it does this from time to time, and then pulls down and then pushes up again. But then overall, just understanding like where it's at and that it's due for a pullback and stuff like that. So let's check out Diaz and how this is looking. Nice little reversal, right? We got 13 minutes. Oh, we didn't announce it. I guess we shouldn't, right, about the 10K challenge.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
It's all good, Alex. I get asked all the time. It's just I just want to make sure that we remind everybody that like the whole premise of the course is, and the whole purpose that like I trade live and that I answer questions is for me to work with you and engage with you to help you like find your own style of trading. If it'd be much easier for me to like just have people mimic my trades and it would be no work for me. I can just go live. I won't answer any questions and stuff like that. The hard part is actually working with our members to identify. And yes, it's a hard part for you as well, but it's also going to be so much more like self-sufficient and rewarding as you'll be able to do this yourself. Did you hit your macros? What are macros?
The protein, fats, and carbs for yesterday. She's making a joke.
Oh
yeah. Yeah. You did a good job. 2 days in a row. Who's watching? Who is that, Josh?
Yeah, this is Nick. He was in the video yesterday. He's actually part of Learn Plan Profit, and he's one of my buddies. Yeah, he came to visit the Tech Buds team here for like 2 days, and then he's heading back to LA. So
yeah, I got like 45 minutes until my flight takes off until I have to be there.
My flight takes off at
10:15.
10:15.
Got to get that natural gas report though.
Mm-hmm.
Take the risk.
We'll race back to the airport.
Yeah, I just woke up, so that's probably... There's Don.
What's the goal for the calorie load? Mine was 5,000.
And Caleb tried to get 10.
And I ended up consuming more than Caleb.
Yeah. That's going to be a fun video.
Mm-hmm. So. Ever toast those Pop-Tarts? No. It takes too much time.
Yeah, that's true. There's Wi-Fi on domestic flights.
Yeah.
I just don't know how comfortable I'd be.
What airline are you flying through?
Southwest.
Oh,
They charge like $8, I think.
Really? I've never
Yeah.
flown through Southwest, I don't think. That's like a
Really?
fancy one, right?
No, that's the opposite. That's like the kind of like the budget airline for.
Heck no, that's American airline.
No chance.
Yeah.
I do Southwest all because Arizona, LA. I go to New Mexico a lot, and then Washington too.
So we talked about it yesterday as well. So for those that don't know, like what Nick does, he has like huge following on Instagram. He has like 600,000 followers. You have a pretty solid following on YouTube as well. You have like 63,000.
Yeah, I think it popped off because I actually did the 10K last month, so that helped a little bit. But 63,000, I think now.
Yep, and he's a personal trainer, and then he's also a model. You model like mainly for Guess, but also other brands. Yeah.
Guess was a big client of mine last year. I did a little bit of Nike growing up because I lived in Portland or Beaverton, Oregon, so that's where the HQ is. A little bit of Adidas as well.
Yeah. So if you walk into the Guess stores in the United States, you'll probably see him and his girlfriend there. So that's pretty cool. Who was it? I think me and Justin walked in, and then we saw you or your girlfriend and stuff like that, and we were checking out. And then the lady's like, "Why do you guys keep looking at that?" And we're like, "We know, that's our friend, or that's our friend's girlfriend."
Yep.
We're all can we get a discount or something? Guess it's not cheap.
Yeah, that's how we met. My girlfriend and I was 5 years ago in Miami through modeling.
That's freaking crazy. Hopefully I meet my girlfriend, but modeling too. Maybe not, because the only thing I'd model for is probably like...
You had some tech buds modeling. I saw those.
Oh, the only thing I would model for would be like what? My cars, and that's not even me. So.
Here you go. You got a little bit of a natural gas.
Yep. Nice little push. We got 8 minutes till the report comes out.
Oh, you can model for Canes too, someone said as well.
Model for McDonald's or Raising Cane's. Okay. I don't know if like I want like my future wife to like
see you on the Canes board.
But hey, be a hand model. No, my hands are like too long. Definitely not going to be the most appealing. But I appreciate the effort. Ricky, you can model for TD Ameritrade. Okay.
That's another good one. These guys got some good ideas.
Yeah, but again, like me modeling for TD Ameritrade like means something that like I'm not the best looking dude. So no, I'm just kidding. I'm good. Let's see. Sell off. Hey, Ricky Shotties for the boys. Alexander. Maybe if like the Slender Man movie needs like a model, I can do that. I can wear that like suit and stuff like that. All right. We got 7 minutes.
I'm gonna probably get my laptop in 2 minutes.
Okay. Sweet. You should probably get it right now, no? Just to set it up. Yeah.
Should I do it? Get it in here? Or should I go out and...
Here, yeah, of course. Be a role model. Okay, I could do that. That's good. I command you to drop. Oh no. How much did your house cost? More than any other house I've ever purchased. I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm already a role model. It means the world to me. Guys, I swear, after just 2 days of going to the gym, and I know probably everyone says this, and I'm really sorry if this is like really childish, but I feel like freaking like jacked, you know? I can take over the world. Oh man. Everything hurts. Call me Trap City. my fingers when I sell. I have to buy a new keyboard because I pushed the button too hard. I'm just like, ah. Yeah, just kidding. I just want to make you guys laugh. Yeah. I just told them, I was like, guys, I don't know, but the past 2 days of working out and eating good, I just feel jacked. And I was like, Trap City. I haven't even worked out my traps once.
No, we did those.
True.
We did those shrugs.
No wonder they hurt.
He's pretty strong in the gym, guys.
Oh my gosh.
You should have seen him benching yesterday.
I can bench a whole plate myself. And I mean, like, a plate with Raising Cane's on it. And, like...
That was a good post-workout, too. A little Raising Cane's.
Yeah. We got a couple minutes till it opens. I'm going to have to cut losses here. I don't want to hold it during natural gas report. Nick, how do you feel holding something during natural gas report?
Well, you got like a 50-50 chance, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like it's... I'm sure a lot of the LPP members probably trade reports, right?
Mm-hmm. It's like one of our biggest streams.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
6'3", 6'4". Come on, Simon.
Yeah, you're 6'4" for sure.
Yeah?
You're true. He's a true 6'4" too.
Yeah, I don't want to say that I'm like 6'5" because like everyone does, and like I don't really think I am. I think I might be a little bit above 6'4".
Yeah, I think he's probably a little over 6'4" actually.
Yeah. So Ricky, why don't you keep your active trader open? Why do you guys think, we've talked about this multiple times before, why would I not keep the active traders, like this little bar right here, why would I not keep it open as I'm trading? You guys talking about my hair? Emotions, right? Easiest way to put it is if I see a dollar amount, and if let's say I'm trying to hit $3,000 for the day. Oh, I was up 2,800
from the swing.
Well, and day trading in the morning, yeah.
Oh, wow.
But as I'm like getting close to like threshold of like $3,000 profit for the day, it's the dollar value that I feel like psychologically I'm going to be trading or aiming for. So like let's say I'm right at like $2,998, but I'm at a resistance. But if I see that I only need like $2 more to trade, I'm going to be trading and hoping that it actually pushes up and trading based off of that rather than actually trading based off of the pattern. And that's what I want to avoid. I open it from time to time if I want to stay up to date with my overall position and stuff like that, but I don't necessarily need it. But yeah, that is exactly why I choose not to. And again, that's like what I choose to do. If you don't need to do that, then great. You are better than me at controlling your emotions. Let's go.
2 minutes?
1 minute left. Last time I literally did it to like the last second and I regretted it. So I'm not going to do that this time. I'm just going to cut losses.
Someone asked a good question about.
Oh, shoot. Holy moly. My thing got filled, though. Oh, my gosh. That was horrible. I gave back $300. I was already down though, so it actually played out in my favor. But I tried to convert it to a market price. Dang, I should have had it at 59.50. No, it's all good. So it's actually in favor of natural gas, but because it's so overbought, it barely pushed up anything. And that's something that's exactly what we talked about actually before this live stream. So I'm really glad we had that conversation. And this is what sucks sometimes because we wait all week for these natural gas reports, and if they're just, again, so overbought, but it's still in its favor, then it's kind of like indifferent, right? So I think, yeah, it almost did end up being neutral because it also did pull back and then push up. I think that was the first direction that it headed. And there it goes. It begins to sell out. So, all right. So there it goes. It's gonna. The only thing I would say about this right now is that on DGAS is actually, as the market has opened, have been showing signs of an uptrend. And that's a completely like shift of direction because this is all we have to go off of during like normal trading hours. But natural gas, this is actually what was showing signs of an uptrend, and then it hit highs of 360 and then is now getting rejected by this SMA line. So just kind of like we saw yesterday, I would give it a little bit more time for it to identify if it's going to be heading down or up, but whichever direction it's going to be going. So if we go to like the 5-day, 5-minute chart, based off of previous patterns and how aggressive it can sell off, if you confirm its direction, then, kind of just go with the flow. If it begins to show signs of an uptrend, then again, just go with the flow. But I sold at a very sucky price point. Where did I sell at? Yeah, 58.95. Yikes. It's all good. And there it goes.
59,
Worst report. No, there's definitely been. This is at least hitting a 1% margin, a little bit over 1%. We've seen reports where it goes up like 0.5%, or it barely even moves. Where like we like ask or question if the report even came out. So, you guys have to like at least pat yourself on the back for you to even say that that's a weird one. You're becoming more familiar with the overall patterns and how like UGAS and DGAS and natural gas usually trades. So you are able now to identify that this was a report that's a little bit different, and that is improvement. Regardless, again, we're here to learn, especially when we're just getting started. So although you weren't able to make the most money, regardless of what the case may be, I want you guys to be empowered based on the knowledge that you have gained just within the past couple of months. Because ask yourself, 1 or 2 months ago, would you have been able to identify that and have said what you just said? That is a weird natural gas report. Maybe not. Like, who says that, right? It's like, oh, when I grow up, I want to be able to know how natural gas reports, react and stuff like that. But guess what? They're very, lucrative, and you can make a lot of money off of them. And that's the beautiful thing about it. So now you identified a pattern. Now you become a little bit more familiar with how it reacts. Now let's kind of just go with the flow and see its direction. But, I'm trying to like make it lighthearted of like, who grew up, like when they tell like, oh, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be able to identify what a normal natural gas report looks like and what it doesn't, right? So, but who would have thought that this would have been a very like kind of like great skill to have to be able to make money off of because of how it reacts and stuff like that. So can you explain more about cutting losses? I'm actually going to be making a video. I need to call TD Ameritrade and see if we could actually like share this, but I'm going to be making a video a little bit more on how to automate cutting losses. And see if TD Ameritrade actually offers this. But I have a video. I've been really focusing on cutting losses for the past couple of days. So, you can watch the video that I uploaded yesterday about risk management, my first red day and why that's important, how to profit on a bear market. And it still talks all about that. And then when to buy a stock and stuff like that. So my biggest factor, my biggest like suggestion for anyone that is struggling with maybe cutting losses or wants to learn more about it, again, the whole importance of this is if you want to learn how to grow your account, then you want to make sure that you invest, if you want to make sure that you can grow your account, you want to make sure that you invest in patterns that are showing signs of growth. That's great and all, and you can have 2 consistent green weeks, an example, right? And it only takes 1 red trade, 1 day, where you bag hold something, you wait till the next day, and then it's down an additional 20%, and you give back everything that you worked so hard for, for the previous 2 weeks. That's happened, I think, to all of us, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Where you work really hard, even for maybe a month or 2 months, and then it just takes 1 trade. If you don't manage your risk, that it could go completely, to red. And the biggest question, the biggest realization that you want to ask yourself is, do you want to, you might be in a little bit of a hole or a little bit of a rut when you're in that position because you're in the red. But again, ask yourself, you're not enough in a rut that you're going to be discouraged to ever trade again. But you can be if you lose 50% of your account. Yeah. So it's much better just to cut losses and to, come back strong rather than continue to let the bleeding happen. And I think that's what differentiates those that are proactive with their trading, is that they realize that, again, it's part of the game, and yes, it's very easy to say, but once you become a little bit more refined in cutting losses, that's why one of my biggest focuses for 2019 is, if you're not making money yet, that's great. One of my biggest focuses for each and every single one of you is to become a true professional in cutting losses and risk management. Being a true professional in the offense or in the defense rather than just the offense. The making money part and the entries and the selling, that's the easy part. It's the cutting losses and the emotions that are the difficult part. So again, that would be a huge focus for, our group moving forward. But yeah, that's really just it. I know this was a really bad natural gas report. Yeah. I do apologize. No. But I want to thank you guys again so much for your time. I want to thank you, Nick, again, for visiting me and the TechBlitz team. Hope you guys all have an amazing rest of your day. I'll keep you guys up to date if I end up taking any other positions. I really don't think so. This last position was probably going to be my last one, or the natural gas report, and it just didn't react well enough. I'm still up, if I'm not mistaken, a little bit over $2,500 on the day. So on ticker symbol you guys, here we go, 2521. So again, still up a decent amount, and that has to do mainly with my swing trade of 200 shares and then the day trading that I did during pre-market hours. So hopefully you learned something new in this video. If you guys did, great. I think I did my job on that one. And if you did not, then feel free to message me on what you would like to learn more about, and then we can kind of go from there. But be sure to keep it under 150 characters. I appreciate all your guys' time. Continue working hard. Continue following your dreams. Let your passion be what drives your success. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.